Hello my lovely people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jane. This is the first time that you are seeing me. Thank you so much for stopping by. My retail subscribers, I love you. Thank you. When you see me laughing from ear to ear like this, you know Abraham is in the picture. All these spies and terrorists and whatever that is happening in African continent. Abraham has finally opened up the book on them. Nigeria, they are showing up, they are sending list of every people that are doing whatever they are doing in Nigeria, for the government to follow it up. They are helping them for them to know, in case they think they don't know. You will not know because you're not a good leader. When you are a good leader, nobody will show you how to do all these things. Look at Abraham, what Abraham is doing. Abraham caught spy. Wherever the spy is from, Abraham will find out. Whoever sends you now they will find out. So he caught them. So I need you guys to see what Abraham is doing. Unlike some people that they are giving list of, since they cannot find it themselves. They are giving list and they don't want to talk about it. They just sat down on it because they are the ones. Because one of their members have come out and said that the people that are doing this, they are presidents. They are in Asorok. Who stays in Asorok? Is it not president? They are in Asorok. They are in governors. They are in Senate. So all these people are telling you this, and you still cannot bring out their names. And so when this happened in Burkina Faso, when Burkina Faso president took over, Burkina Faso started blocking all their accounts, calling their names, listing all their names from A to Z and what they are doing, and block all their accounts. If you are outside, they will ask for you to be brought back home so you can come and answer for your own faith. If you are inside, you will go in for it. That's what happened in Burkina Faso. And guess why it's happening like this? Because Burkina Faso has his boot, has his leg, hands on deck. He's doing everything and making sure that his eyes is on what is happening. That's how leaders are supposed to do. That's how what leaders are supposed to work. But now, see how he caught these spies. The spy that came to their country, who sent them or what they came to do. Burkina Faso will find out, and I need you to watch this video and see what is happening over there in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is making African continent so happy. Burkina Faso is doing the amazing thing. It's doing things that has never been done, thought of doing it. He is doing it. So watch this video and see how this man caught a spy that came to Burkina Faso. This person must be dreaming that you will go to Burkina Faso knowing that Abraham is there. You think you can get away with it. Now you cannot get away with it. So please, I need you guys to watch. When you finish, please share the video and let enemies of progress know what's going on. I love it. From me to you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
In devastating war, the imperialistic forces have tried to tear our unified and strong society apart, completely and utterly annihilate us, and make sure that we can never lift our heads again and are forced to submit forever. However, the effect that they are expecting or hoping for will, unfortunately, never come to pass because the required conditions and circumstances simply do not exist. Because instead, this war has come to bond us, unite us, and more than ever, we remain standing.
While leading military operations on the front lines, Captain Ibrahim Traoré once again demonstrated his unwavering commitment to the safety and security of Burkina Faso. In a remarkable turn of events, Traoré was directly involved in the capture of a foreign spy, an individual who had infiltrated a high-risk area in eastern Burkina Faso, an area that has become notorious for its constant battles with armed groups over the years. This region, once peaceful, now finds itself in a constant state of flux due to external and internal threats, making it one of the most dangerous areas in the country. According to some sources, this foreign spy had been sent with a clear mission: to gather sensitive intelligence that could potentially destabilize the already fragile state of national security in Burkina Faso. The spy's covert activities in this region posed a grave risk to the sovereignty of the nation, making the discovery and capture all the more significant. The intelligence the spy sought to collect could have been used to aid the ongoing operations of the hostile groups that threaten the peace and stability of Burkina Faso. With such high stakes, Traoré's quick decision-making and relentless vigilance in identifying this threat were nothing short of heroic. But what stands out most is not just the intelligence breakthrough, but Traoré's direct involvement in the interrogation of the spy. Unlike many leaders who remain distant from the battlefield, Traoré's leadership is grounded in his presence on the ground. His decision to take charge of the interrogation himself speaks volumes about his dedication to his. Ibrahim Traoré is not just a figurehead in this battle. He is the embodiment of hands-on leadership. This personal involvement in every operation, from military strategy to intelligence gathering, ensures that no stone is left unturned in securing Burkina Faso's future. His actions highlight the distinctive approach that has set him apart from other leaders in the region. At a time when many nations would rely on external forces or distant commanders, Traoré remains deeply entrenched in the operational aspects of the defense of his nation. His leadership style, marked by decisiveness and direct action, stands as a model of resilience in a time of crisis. It sends a clear message that Burkina Faso, under his command, is taking control of its destiny, despite external pressures and challenges. This recent event serves as a reminder of Traoré's dedication to Burkina Faso's sovereignty and security. His hands-on leadership not only fortifies national defense, but also enhances the morale of the Burkinabe people. His quick thinking and bravery reflect a deeper commitment to defending not just the territory of Burkina Faso, but its values and identity as a nation. More than ever, it is clear that Burkina Faso's future under Captain Ibrahim Traoré is secure in his capable hands, free from external manipulation and determined to maintain its integrity. But the important question here is, who is behind this spy? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. While the spy was caught trying to gather sensitive information, the identity and motives of the group or nation responsible for sending him remain unclear. But who can be the possible actors behind this? Burkina Faso, strategically nestled in the heart of the Sahel region, is no stranger to external influence, and recent events only highlight the continued interest of foreign actors in the country's affairs. The Sahel region, encompassing parts of West Africa, has long been regarded as a high-stakes geopolitical battleground due to its rich natural resources, its vital location near key international trade routes, and its ongoing involvement in counterinsurgency operations. These factors, combined with Burkina Faso's vulnerability in the face of armed insurgencies and political instability, have made the country a prime target for intervention by foreign powers. One of the most appealing aspects of Burkina Faso to foreign actors is its natural wealth. The country is home to significant mineral reserves, including gold, which has rapidly become a key driver of its economy. As demand for gold continues to rise globally, Burkina Faso's mining sector has become a lucrative point of interest for multinational corporations, foreign governments, and private investors looking to capitalize on these resources. With such valuable assets, it is no surprise that foreign powers would seek to exert influence over the country to maintain access to these riches. Additionally, the Sahel region's proximity to powerful geopolitical players makes Burkina Faso an important pawn in broader regional strategies. The country shares borders with several other nations, including Mali, Niger, and Ivory Coast, each of which has been involved in complex regional dynamics. France, for example, has historically had significant sway over West African nations due to its colonial legacy and its current military presence in the region. With ongoing operations against insurgent groups and a desire to maintain influence in the Sahel, it is possible that Western powers, including France and the United States, may have interests in shaping events in Burkina Faso to further their own regional goals. At the same time, the rise of China as a global power with extensive economic interests in Africa cannot be overlooked. With its Belt and Road Initiative, China has increasingly become involved in African infrastructure projects and resource extraction. Burkina Faso, having recently strengthened ties with China, may find itself caught in the crossfire of a global power struggle over influence in Africa. China's expanding presence in the region, particularly in natural resource sectors, could be a driving force behind efforts to sway the direction of Burkina Faso's political and economic future. But it's not just Western and Eastern powers vying for control. The country's neighboring nations, particularly those struggling with their internal instability, may see Burkina Faso as both a threat and an opportunity. As Burkina Faso continues to face internal challenges, including armed insurgencies, the formation of new alliances and the rise of independent leadership under Captain Ibrahim Traoré, it becomes increasingly clear that foreign actors are monitoring and influencing developments in the country. Whether these actors are driven by the desire to control valuable resources, maintain regional power, or further their own political and economic agendas, the strategic importance of Burkina Faso cannot be overstated. These external players are likely keen to ensure that the country's future aligns with their broader regional and global ambitions, even if this means covertly shaping its internal politics. Thus, the question remains, who exactly is pulling the strings behind the scenes? While it may not always be easy to determine the exact actors, the motivations of foreign powers, be they economic, geopolitical, or security-based, are clear. Burkina Faso, with its wealth, strategic location, and emerging leadership, remains an essential piece of the Sahel puzzle, and foreign interests will continue to play a significant role in shaping its future. As Captain Ibrahim Traoré and his leadership efforts progress, the extent to which foreign actors seek to assert their influence will likely remain one of the most critical challenges facing Burkina Faso in the years ahead. But Traoré is becoming a challenge to all the actors trying to control Burkina Faso. So what will Burkina Faso look like if it remains progressing like this under Traoré? If Captain Ibrahim Traoré stays the course, Burkina Faso in a few years won't just be surviving, it'll be thriving. With his decisive leadership and unwavering commitment to the nation's welfare, the future of Burkina Faso could become an example of resilience in a region plagued by instability. Let's break down how Burkina Faso could evolve under Traoré's command. Imagine a Burkina Faso where the defense forces are not only holding their ground but also pushing back external threats with confidence. Under Traoré's guidance, the military's strength and unity have been key. He's on the front lines, not just commanding from afar, sending a clear message that the fight for sovereignty will be led by those who have skin in the game. This hands-on leadership means that military readiness is always at the forefront, ensuring that foreign infiltration and armed groups don't get the upper hand. The country might evolve into a fortress of self-reliance, less vulnerable to outside interference, but also less likely to fall into chaos. His leadership style fosters a morale-boosting sense of unity among the military ranks, turning the Burkinabe army into a well-oiled, battle-hardened machine. As Burkina Faso's military grows stronger, so will its voice on the international stage. This nation, no longer bogged down by internal conflicts, could step forward as a regional influencer, no longer merely reacting to crises but actively shaping solutions. Picture a Burkina Faso with enough muscle to lead peace efforts across the Sahel region. It could be a driving force in regional diplomacy, especially when neighbors recognize the stability Traoré's leadership brings to the table. A self-sufficient, strong nation garners respect, and Burkina Faso is already on the path to becoming a beacon of regional authority, ready to negotiate and broker peace from a position of power rather than weakness. One of the most remarkable shifts could be the deepened national unity. Under Traoré's leadership, there's a genuine push toward a sense of shared sacrifice, especially in the fight for national survival. Burkinabe citizens are being pulled together by a common cause, transcending old political divides and ethnic tensions. Unlike the fractured states often seen in the region, Burkina Faso could set an example of cohesion. Traoré's emphasis on collective effort over individual political gain has the potential to create a more prosperous, harmonious nation, where citizens work hand in hand, not against each other. Imagine a future where political and ethnic divisions are less pronounced, replaced by a shared pride in the nation's resilience. Now let's talk about money, because stability breeds prosperity. With internal peace becoming more of a reality, Burkina Faso is set to open up new avenues for economic development. Picture a Burkina Faso where businesses thrive, local industries boom, and jobs are no longer scarce. As the country stabilizes, the world's eyes will inevitably turn toward Burkina Faso, as a place for investment. Less conflict means more opportunities for infrastructure development, improved education systems. But Traoré is becoming a challenge to all the actors trying to control Burkina Faso. So what will Burkina Faso look like if it remains progressing like this under Traoré? If Captain Ibrahim Traoré stays the course, Burkina Faso in a few years won't just be surviving, it'll be thriving. With his decisive leadership and unwavering commitment to the nation's welfare, the future of Burkina Faso could become an example of resilience in a region plagued by instability. Let's break down how Burkina Faso could evolve under Traoré's command. Imagine a Burkina Faso where the defense forces are not only holding their ground but also pushing back external threats with confidence. Under Traoré's guidance, the military's strength and unity have been key. He's on the front lines, not just commanding from afar, sending a clear message that the fight for sovereignty will be led by those who have skin in the game. This hands-on leadership means that military readiness is always at the forefront, ensuring that foreign infiltration and armed groups don't get the upper hand. The country might evolve into a fortress of self-reliance, less vulnerable to outside interference, but also less likely to fall into chaos. His leadership style fosters a morale-boosting sense of unity among the military ranks, turning the Burkinabe army into a well-oiled, battle-hardened machine. As Burkina Faso's military grows stronger, so will its voice on the international stage. This nation, no longer bogged down by internal conflicts, could step forward as a regional influencer, no longer merely reacting to crises but actively shaping solutions. Picture a Burkina Faso with enough muscle to lead peace efforts across the Sahel region. It could be a driving force in regional diplomacy, especially when neighbors recognize the stability Traoré's leadership brings to the table. A self-sufficient, strong nation garners respect, and Burkina Faso is already on the path to becoming a beacon of regional authority, ready to negotiate and broker peace from a position of power rather than weakness. One of the most remarkable shifts could be the deepened national unity. Under Traoré's leadership, there's a genuine push toward a sense of shared sacrifice, especially in the fight for national survival. Burkinabe citizens are being pulled together by a common cause, transcending old political divides and ethnic tensions. Unlike the fractured states often seen in the region, Burkina Faso could set an example of cohesion. Traoré's emphasis on collective effort over individual political gain has the potential to create a more prosperous, harmonious nation, where citizens work hand in hand, not against each other. Imagine a future where political and ethnic divisions are less pronounced, replaced by a shared pride in the nation's resilience. Now let's talk about money, because stability breeds prosperity. With internal peace becoming more of a reality, Burkina Faso is set to open up new avenues for economic development. Picture a Burkina Faso where businesses thrive, local industries boom, and jobs are no longer scarce. As the country stabilizes, the world's eyes will inevitably turn toward Burkina Faso as a place for investment. Less conflict means more opportunities for infrastructure development, improved education systems, creation. In the coming years, this economic transformation could bring with it a boom in sectors like agriculture, mining, and renewable energy, unlocking a new chapter in Burkina Faso's economic independence. Foreign investments will follow, eager to tap into a stable, growing market, making the country less reliant on aid and more self-sufficient. So, how will Burkina Faso look in a few years? If Traoré's path continues, you'll see a reinvigorated nation, one that commands respect on the international stage, unites its people, and thrives economically. This isn't a distant dream, it's a vision well within reach, as long as Traoré maintains his course. The real question is, can the West, who's used to controlling the narrative, handle it when Burkina Faso isn't begging for their assistance anymore? For decades, the West has convinced itself that it holds the key to Africa's success. But here's the hard truth they're not ready to swallow. Africa doesn't need them anymore. And despite the West's relentless attempts to maintain its grip on the continent, there's a seismic shift underway, one that the West simply can't ignore forever. The future is independent, and Africa is on a mission to prove that. For centuries, Africa was the playground of colonial powers, exploited for its resources, its labor, and its geopolitical positioning. The West, under the guise of civilization, built empires at the expense of African sovereignty. From the Berlin Conference to today's endless cycle of aid and influence, the narrative was always the same. Africa was a child in need of guidance. The West has been more than comfortable holding that narrative in place, feeding off Africa's resources while pretending to offer help in the form of aid packages and diplomatic guidance. But here's the kicker. Africa is growing up, and it's doing so without asking for permission. Let's be real. There's a palpable fear in Western capitals when they think about Africa taking control of its destiny. What does that mean for their influence? What does that mean for their long-standing financial, military, and political interests, which has for so long relied on keeping Africa in a subservient position? From the IMF's tight grip on economic policy to the West's desire to control African trade routes, there's a lot at stake for them. And the West isn't exactly the type to quietly let go of something it's held for so long, even if it's doing nothing but harm. But the truth is that no matter how hard the West clings to its outdated models of dominance, the tide is turning. Countries like Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Nigeria are showing the world that Africa can stand tall without waiting for permission from anyone. The West's attempts to exert pressure, be it through military intervention, economic sanctions, or political isolation, are becoming less and less effective. Why? Because Africa is no longer afraid to stand up and say no. But here's the part the West won't admit out loud. Africa's independence isn't just inevitable. It's already happening. China, Russia, and other rising powers have recognized Africa's potential, choosing to build partnerships instead of exploitative relationships. BRICS, the growing economic bloc, includes several African nations and is reshaping the global order in ways that the West can no longer control. Africa isn't just rising on the global stage, it's leading the charge for a new world order. So, what's the West to do? As African nations strengthen their economies, build their military capabilities, and refuse to be dictated to, the West has no choice but to adapt or get left behind. No amount of diplomatic pressure can stop the rise of an independent Africa that refuses to be controlled. Western nations can continue pretending that they're helping, but the truth is that Africa's future isn't up for negotiation. Africa is tired of being a project to be fixed. It's a continent brimming with untapped potential, resources, and the resilience to overcome centuries of oppression. The West will eventually have to face the reality that Africa is a sovereign power, ready to chart its course, and they can either learn to respect that or watch as Africa moves forward, undeterred and unstoppable. In the end, one thing is crystal clear. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's approach to dealing with spies is a clear declaration of his unyielding stance against the West. No more games, no more hidden agendas. Traoré is ready to do whatever it takes to expose the West's manipulative tactics in Africa. His actions aren't merely about protecting the sovereignty of Burkina Faso. They're part of a larger strategy to unveil the West's covert operations and stop their influence from undermining African progress. Traoré's handling of foreign infiltrators sends a blunt message. Africa has had enough of being controlled by the West's dirty tricks. When foreign agents are caught meddling in Burkina Faso's internal affairs, Traoré doesn't hesitate to expose them, forcing the world to confront the truth. It's not just about national security, it's a public declaration that African nations are no longer willing to play by the West's rules. Traoré's leadership is turning into something far more significant. It's a powerful act of defiance that signals a growing resistance to the West's historical dominance in Africa. For years, the West has operated in the shadows, pulling the strings and fueling instability for their benefit. But Traoré is boldly cutting those strings, and he's doing it in broad daylight. The West may try to use their usual tactics of manipulation and control, but Traoré is unmasking them, and he's ready to expose it all, no matter the consequences. This isn't just military strategy. It's about reclaiming the narrative, about making the West accountable for its role in Africa's struggles. And as Traoré continues his leadership, one thing is certain: Burkina Faso won't be the only nation watching the West's every move. The world is waking up, and Traoré is leading the charge.